I was telling you about something we're eagerly anticipating. Of course, it's the Olympic Games because we want to see the Ghana flag there. We want to see our boxers, we want to see our athletes, and we want to perform, whether or not we've prepared well. At least that's what the fans want. Let me tell you about another thing that's very eagerly anticipated. It's the Pick One game, which has arrived with a big bang. So you have to choose your favorite number between 1 and 36. Stake and get ready for excitement as we unveil the lucky number. So just prepare yourself to unleash even more moolah by staking from 1 Ghana cedi to 350 Ghana cedis and win 26 times your stake of the amazing Pick One game by Game Park. You want to know how you're going to play? It's very simple. You can play by dialing *946# on all networks, and it's via our website, or download the Game Park app on www.gameparkgames.com. Watch our live draws on Adom TV at 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. daily. So that means that today, if you miss 9 a.m. and 12 noon, don't worry, 6 p.m. is coming up. Game Park, more moolah, more power. Remember, this game is regulated by the National Lottery Authority and it's not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. Permit me to give big shouts to my friends at Labadi Beach Hotel, Ghana's premier 5-star hotel and your CIMG Hospitality Facility of the Year. You know what Labadi Beach Hotel is up to this time? It's Oktoberfest, because Oktoberfest is here. It's another exciting edition of the biggest beer festival in the world. It's Oktoberfest 2023. Performing live is the boys band from Germany. Catch all the fun, German traditional food and beer at the plush Labadi Beach Hotel on October 6th and October 7th, 2023. Inquiries and reservations, please call 0302 772 501 or 0249 532 866 or 0244 747 670. Oktoberfest Beer Festival. Come, let's party.
I need to go right. I need to go right. They get to walk a rice one day. And they get to walk a rice one day. And they get to walk a rice one day. And they get to a rice. They get to a rice.
Get to arise from the Volta regime president, Edem, EDAM. Starting off the action here on the Joy Sports Link on Joy 99.7 FM with me, Nathaniel Attoh, and the rest of the Joy Sports team. Here with me in the studio is the president of the Ghana Boxing Federation, Mr. Bernard Quarte. He will be joined by the head coach of the national boxing team, Ofori Asare, who's Ghana's only 3-star IBA coach. Also, the Director of Communications of the Ghana Boxing Federation, together with one of the boxers who performed best by our standards. They'll be joining us here in the studio for these conversations as we look at how best we can get the problem solved so we can perform. But yesterday on the Joy News channel, on a special edition of Sports Today, I hosted Ghana's only medalist from the 2020 Olympic Games, Samuel Techi. Now, Samuel Techi won a bronze medal, and this was after he had taken part in a qualifier post-COVID, or during the COVID era, just when, the system opened up for, competitions and all to start happening all over again. This then teenager went into Senegal and qualified, booked a spot to represent Ghana at the Olympic Games in Tokyo. And boy, oh boy, he went there. He, saved the nation's face by winning Ghana's only medal at the tournament. Now, fast forward, we've gone through another Olympic cycle and France is almost here with us. But question is, the best performing sport on this platform, is it getting enough attention? When we had the opportunity to take part in a qualifier in Senegal recently, we sent 12 boxers. Now, these 12 boxers had a male and female component. Unfortunately, no boxer was able to qualify. We have 2 more opportunities, one in Italy and one in Thailand. How well can we utilize these opportunities? That's what we want to look at. But we need to give it a whole background so that you can understand where everyone is coming from. Let's begin with my conversation with Samuel Techi. He spoke about how he felt sitting back and watching his teammates, some of whom he's trained with, perform and try so hard and not get it right. In Senegal, just about a week and a half ago. Let's take a listen to Samuel Techi on that subject.
I do not feel good. I feel bad because we have to get a slot to the Olympics. And I was looking at a Nigeria team. They only brought 5 boxers, and I think 2 of them qualified. And we went with 12. But in all, we did well, but we did not qualify to the Olympics. And we have to qualify more slots to the Olympics. And most of our guys need more experience. And I'm there now for them, and Coach is there now for them. Coach will know the road more. So I think this time we are going to make it, and we are going to prove to Ghanaians that we have a slot to go.
Well, the confidence can only come from those who've been there before. Well, he says that, he's there for them, and Coach Ofori Asare is also there for the boys, and that this time something different will happen. Now, let's also talk about the ambition. The ambition of what could happen in France if we're able to get these qualification spots.
Yeah, Olympic Games, we don't just stand up and go to the Olympic Games. You have to pass through the process. You have to go to Olympics qualify before you go to the Olympic Games. So I think, like I said, this is a time for Samuel Techi to bring the gold in Ghana, because I think I have go to professional and learn more experience there. So I don't think this time I'll go to Olympics or Olympic qualify or any games in the world or maybe Africa and I'll get a defeat. No, because I thought Duke Regan was a professional boxer that time, 2020. He has fought 4 in professional. And I'm also now a professional boxer. I have a 4 record, 4 KO. So I think this is a time to prove myself that, I am who I say I am.
Well, more on the national team and the kind of support he needs, and that's where we're going to start off the conversation here this afternoon.
I don't have any problem with the national team, and I was there and I saw a news that they have dropped Samuel Techi from the qualifiers when they are going to the qualifier, and I said, oh no, but Samuel Techi is not in the national team, and I'm a professional boxer, and if someone said they have dropped someone from a team, that means the person is in the team and they have dropped him. But I'm a professional boxer. I was no more an amateur boxer again. So I don't think that rumors is true. I don't think that rumors is true.
See. Well, there was talk about the request you also made about getting the remainder of the promise that you had been made by the state.
Yeah. I did not make a request. In the news, I saw they have written Samuel Techi make a request from the GBF, and Samuel Techi, I know my money is in ministries. My money is not in GBF. So if I need my money, I'll go to the ministries and sit down with the minister and we plan ahead. So I did not understand when the GBF said I request for my money from them. And my money is not from GBF. My money is in ministry. So if I need some of my money, I'll go to the ministries and talk to the minister.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Indeed, your super dial. So here with me, for starters, are the president of the GBF, Mr. Bernard Quarte. On a regular day, you'd see him in his very proudly sporting his Ghana Immigration Service uniform. Today, he's playing the role of the president of the GBF. And then next to him is Charles Jojo Efson, who is in charge of communications for the Ghana Boxing Federation. Gentlemen, it's good to have you here. And welcome back from Senegal. It's been tough.
Yeah. Thank you.
President, let me begin with you. We had a conversation. I mean, I had a whole 1-hour package with you and the rest of the team, some months ago, trying to highlight your plight and what you were generally going through in trying to, get these boys ready. I mean, we visited you at the stadium. We visited you at the head coach's private gym, because that's the kind of arrangement he had to make since we didn't have a fixed training place. Let's roll it back a little bit. when we went to Senegal and the last boxer fought, what were the things that started, popping up in your mind regarding how we need to reposition ourselves for the sport of boxing?
All right. Thank you, Senior Nat. Before I start, I want to actually give thanks to God for actually sailing us through to Dakar and back. And coming to the substantive issue, the question you just asked or posed. I was monitoring everything as a president of the federation, because at the end of the day, what we pray is to make sure we qualify multiple boxers to represent Ghana.
Very well.
Like we did in the same Dakar for Samuel Techi to be able to win bronze for Ghana. I realized that there are some finishing tactics that we should be able to overcome. So it was there that I realized that no, there are some mistakes that our boxers were actually committing. One has to do with the rules and regulations. And the rules and regulations, I earlier told you that we have a serious challenge, because in Ghana, we can tell you we have a local boys, referees and judges. But to understand or to let you know that they understand what do I say, the international rules and regulations is something that I can tell you for a fact that we have a serious challenge there. Because I can tell you for a fact that we don't even have an international certified referee and judge. So
I'd want you to take that slowly. Ghana currently does not have an internationally certified referee. Neither do we have an internationally certified judge. Is that what the situation is?
that is the situation.
Why?
As it stands now, that is the situation. All
Why?
has to do with funding. All has to do with funding, because all these courses that you see has to do with cost. Getting money for them to actually go and participate, even to register, for them to get their air tickets, get their hotel money, and then get their registration fee, has been a major problem for the referees and judges. So when I took over as a president of the federation, I realized that the fundamentals actually was not good at all. It wasn't good at all. So what I did was to basically focus on the coaches, because at the end of the day, you cannot actually have or generate boxer or produce boxer if you don't have the expertise, the coaches to actually train them to get to the level that you want. So I decided to engage the international body for them to, have some online courses for our coaches, for them to actually understand the game very well, so that they will apply the same technology to our boxers. And in fact, I can tell you for a fact, for almost 14 of them, I can tell you certified coaches, 14 of them. Looking at the number of coaches that we have, there are many. And you can see clearly that majority of them, the focus has to do with professional, because they've come to realize that when we talk of amateur, there is no money. So you even take boxers outside, they represent Ghana, they prefer going to the professional body, because at the end of the day, they will be getting managers to manage them. So the interest for the coaches to still maintain or to teach what we call amateur boxing, you will never see it.
So you're saying that out of the multiplicity of coaches that we have in the system, only 14 have been certified and have gone through the requisite.
Gone through the Star 1.
Star 1 training.
We have Star
license.
1, Star 2, Star 3, and Star 4. And currently, I can tell you 14 of them. This year, we were able to get 14 of them certified.
And currently, our head coach is at Star 3.
Yeah, he's at Star 3. And
okay. So it means that we need to push for him to get to Star 4.
Very well.
Which is the highest?
This is the highest. And even in addition, we have invited the German Olympics Committee for them to actually also add up some capacity building course in the same line, that is coaching. And today, when I leave here, I have to go to the port and make sure I receive them. So that Monday, they are going to add up to what they were able to go through in terms of the certificate that was awarded to them.
All right, if you just joined us, we're discussing amateur boxing. We're trying to just figure out what really the issues are. We are approaching an Olympic year. We're just a few months away. And there are issues because we attended a qualifier, and that brought out a very big deficiency on the part of the national team. So right now, what we want to look at is how to get the remedy and how to get the solution. The president of the Ghana Boxing Federation, Bernard Coate, is here. He's just made a very interesting revelation about the officiating element of the organization of our boxing, which is non-existent if we have any other description to give it. Let me come to the director of comms, Jojo Efson. We've been doing a lot of work on this over the period. You were in Dakar, Senegal. How tough is this reality that we do not have the requisite officiating officials, meaning that all the competitions that we have here lack something, which is the proper officiating bite?
Yes, of course. It tells you that we lack all the needed ingredients, to make the sport stick, especially at the amateur level, which is the basis and then the foundation of the sports. Because if you have a weak foundation, definitely the professional ranks, also look very fragile. And the Dakar mission, once again, exposed us as a country, to the reality that other countries, as much as they are making things think for them, developing all facets of the game from the technical point of view, the ITOs, as the president mentioned, all that made the whole competition on the game tick. Ghana is still not there up yet. We still relying on the raw talent with the few coaches that we have at stake, and it's a big problem. So you've asked, Dakar was more or less an exposure, a learning curve for us. We've come, we've seen it. Regardless of the changes that came in with the qualification slot as compared to the previous and all those things, it tells us that as a nation we need to wake up from the slumber and stop thinking that we have the talent. We can just put them around, give them few days, few weeks training, and then bam, we take them to competition. We expect them to qualify as much as possible. Then you see everybody following up. No, Dakar has exposed us and shown us that we need to invest and invest more, develop all facets. I'm talking about the facet, the technical, that's coaches, ITOs, international technical officials, as the president have mentioned, referees, judges, and whoever, including, upping the game of the administrators as well, to be in tandem with the modern trend. Because if you look at the countries that swept away the medal and qualified as much as possible, the Algerians, the Moroccans, the Egyptians, to some extent the Nigerians, they have more of these things at their disposal. They have the system which give them the needed support to go to major international competitions, to prepare them well. There are youth competitions now. When Ghana prepare a team to go, we don't have the needed resources to take them and expose them, so that perhaps that succession planning that have been in place for the new GBF, will work out. So it's a big lesson for we as a country. Lamentation must stop. There must be a solution. Investment into the amateur rank must increase.
Investment into the amateur ranks must increase. This is a message that we started preaching many years ago. We're in 2023 and we're still preaching that message. I'm glad to welcome Coach Ofori Asare. He is an IBA 3-star coach, just one level away from attaining the highest mark. He cumulatively has close to between 13 to 15 years working with the national team. He's seen so many of these situations, and I'm sure that he's got thoughts to share today as we discuss this. Coach, so we came into the camp. There was a deficiency when it came to even camping the team. Some makeshift arrangement was made finally, and you got things together. And then we got into Dakar. Well, there were there are some complaints about officiating. I want you to touch on those as well. But tell me generally about our boxers and their levels of appreciation of technique and moving to build up the points once the bell goes.
Thank you, Nat. I think
like you said, we have the talent, we have the level, but there are other things that support, like what Jojo talked about, the officiating officials, the way maybe we were handled most of the times. I think I've been singing this song for a long time, and I always use this word that we've been squeezing stone to get water. So most of the times when we get results, it's not just that we brought the results, so that is it. It is because we struggle through a whole lot of things and play some kind of magic, and then before you see we had results. So it has been like sometimes we are lucky, but now this competition we didn't get that kind of luck that we were depending on, and we were exposed in terms of preparation. Most of the countries are well prepared than us in terms of what they did before coming to the competition. Some of them went to Russia, some of them went to Cuba, some of them they exposed their boxers to some level, and also they play a role in the officialdom. You see that when we were in the competition, there are some information given to some of the coaches which we don't have, because when we went to the World Championship, the method of judging was different from this Dakar qualification. At the World Championship, there's a mechanism of 2 officiating officials who always stand by, and they when in terms of a close fight or a fight that is more closer, they put in their judgment, and that one will make a difference at the end of the tournament. But this competition, that 2 judges that control that judgment, they are not there. That mechanism is not there. So it means whatever happened. There's nothing of correction of judges, other judges coming to cover the protest aspect of the whole sport. And because of that, we go in there, they box some of our boxers. When you look, you watch them, the way they box, and some of the scorings that weren't given to them. They didn't accredit some of their scoring to them, and they will take a mass from all that you perform, and then it look like you did 0. But seriously, some of our boxers who have qualified, even though it was 1 slot, we could have at least qualified 1 if this kind of things didn't happen. But I still believe in the boxers, because this competition was a big competition. The number of boxers is about 235 plus, and the countries participating 41 countries, and all of them brought boxers, and we are competing with these boxers. So sometimes even the way some of the media put it, like 12 boxers and all of them lost. It's not that they went for a 1 competition and then all of them lost. No, competitively they beat some countries. We beat South Africa, we beat Uganda, we beat Congo, we beat a whole lot of and we have 4 of them at the quarterfinals. Even 4 that are in the quarterfinals. If it could have been the previous qualification system, we have 4 inside going to the Olympics. But because of the 1 slot issue, it has affected. Even we at the technical meeting, we discussed about those things, and they said where they are now, they cannot change the situation unless maybe our next qualification, which we believe that one will be a little bit flexible, because we are going for 4 slot in every weight category in the next qualification, which we have the boxers who can at least move. Since we were able to even get 4 to the quarterfinals, there we will be able to qualify. And as at now, most countries have qualified their best shots already. So that competitiveness at the first qualification will not be there like how it is. So look at a boxer like Jaguar. He fought strong boxers.
You're talking about Joseph Kome?
Yeah.
Jaguar, yes.
Jaguar, Joseph Kome. He fought very good boxers who are even more experienced than them, and than him. And he beat 2 of them, and he lost to more experienced boxer. The boxer he lost to has already been there for many competitions. Boxers, we are fighting Olympians, those who have been there already, those who have been in the previous competitions. There was a African championship in Cameroon, which this no money syndrome affected us. There was some also at Morocco. We couldn't even. I think
and all those happened have happened in the last year.
Yeah. Even some in Mozambique. I think so.
So all of them happened this year. Wow, between January and
so
now.
we are even if they are going to use seeding, we will not be part of it. We will be out. But the next qualification, there will be seeding, and some of our boxers have now joined the ranking because of this competition that were, because of where they went to quarterfinals, semi-finals, one semi-final. This. So the next qualification that is there will be seeding, we will be able to have edge in terms of the seeding to be able to qualify more boxers. So yes, it was a very difficult competition based on all those mechanisms that I just talk about. So we cannot say that the boxers didn't do well. They are 12 boxers, but they won a whole lot of fights. It's not that they went there and they just lost. They went. Some of them won 2 fights. Some of them won 3 fights, and some 1, which means that they did some. They put in some effort. So when you put it there, like 12 boxers all lost, as if they didn't even win any match at all. But they are fighting against 235 boxers against 41 countries, which is the very highest number when you come to African competition. So it's not easy, and they are doing all this within a week. You have to fight. Some of the boxers, they fight, and then the next day they are fighting. They fight continuously, and all these things, we need a whole lot of system or mechanism to be able to support them as they are going on, and it's not an easy thing. So we still will not say we've done bad, but we still want to apologize to Ghanaians about what happened. We know how Ghanaians love boxing, and so whenever something happens, they take boxing matters very, very serious. That's why we also want to apologize to them what happened. But it is not over yet. We are still have confidence that we will qualify more boxers, and when we qualify those boxers, it's not just like that. We'll go to the Olympics games and they will see our performance there. Even this tournament has even prepared the boxers to some level. Even some of the boxers that we send there have never been to any competition, especially the female side. They've never been to any competition at all. And you know, me and you, that we know about. Aside
Onela Sathu,
yes,
Dr. Onela Sathu, none of them have.
That's why I said some of them.
Yeah.
And competitiveness, they've not been able to have competitions like this. So this is even exposure, and it's a preparation for the African Games as well. So all that happened there it will not go for nothing, but we use it as a springboard or a preparation ground for the African Games, as well as qualifying to the Olympics game.
Well, you're still here on Joy 99.7 FM. This is the Joy Sports Link, and the subject is boxing and where we stand regarding qualification for the Olympic Games. We have a full cast here in the studio. The president of the Ghana Boxing Federation, Bernard Quarte, is here. The head coach of the national teams, Ufori Asare, is here. And the man in charge of communications for the Ghana Boxing Federation, my colleague, Jojo Efson. Also, key amongst all of them is the boxer who won a medal. The only boxer who won a medal, Theophilus Kpakpo Alote. He won a medal, in the competition. And he won a bronze medal, actually. And he was participating in the featherweight division. I mean, on the average, the featherweight division is flyweight, beg your pardon. So between flyweight and featherweight is where we normally would find our strengths. Kpakpo, congratulations.
Thank you.
How did you find the experience?
Well, this is my second time going to the international level. So my first time some small light experience, but this one, yeah, very tough for me.
Before you left, did you have a feeling you were going to land within the medal zone, or you thought, look, you were already in France based on your own capacity and the previous experience you said that you learned from?
Yeah, before we were going, I'm already feeling that I'll qualify to Paris because this is the time that I'm waiting for to go to the Olympics Games. Yeah, so I'm already feeling that I will qualify. So anytime we are training, I don't play with my training. I'm always focused because I want to go to the Olympics Games.
Tell me about your opponents and how you found them, how you found fighting them in the ring. Did you learn any new things, for instance, from any of your opponents that you faced in this particular competition?
Yeah, mostly when you go to some competition and they mention some of the countries' name, you see that these people are very tough. But the people that I met, like one of the like Ethiopia, when you mention their country, you see that they are not more experienced. But the one that I fought, don't judge him by his country, but he's very good. And the South African guy too,
I see.
he's very good. Yeah.
So, Jojo, there's a very interesting trend, happening now that is just like in football, where at the level of the AFCON and our qualifiers for the World Cup, you cannot underrate any teams anymore. It's not about pedigree anymore because in recent years we've had some very big surprises, Comoros, Cape Verde, and all of that popping up. In the same way, Kpakpo is alluding to that fact that in boxing as well, it is happening.
Yeah, of course, the modern sports, does not thrive only on talent. As I mentioned earlier on, and coach and then everybody has mentioned, it's all about the quality of your preparation towards the games. Like I said, you see, most of the countries that competed and actually a qualified number of boxers, they've been preparing for the past 2 years. They've gone to major international competitions, be it the World Men Championship, be it the Female World Championship, be it African Championship, be it various invitational competitions. And they have strong domestic competitions with good sponsorship. And they equally have, ITOs, international tanker officials, giving them the modern rudiment of the game. So you look at it, preparation is very key. The days where talent was it, where Clement Aikwote won Africa's first medal at the Olympics, is past. If you look at the qualification slot, things have changed. If Theophilus were to be in the Techis era of the 3 years ago, he could have automatically qualified for Paris, because those times getting to the semi-final was automatic qualification. The last edition, Ghana qualified Suleiman Atete and Theophilus at the semi-finals. Non-Ghanaian got to the finals. So you look at it, yes, talent alone is not just enough. There are other elements that make modern sports tick, that make modern sports thrives. That's why you see a country like Algeria, Morocco, who head to do, we don't hear much about them in terms of boxing, but they've qualified 4. Nigeria, who got 3 gold, they had a special approach. They, by proximity to Cameroon, went with car, so they exposed their boxers. It was surprising. They qualified 3 of them, a very strong female squad from Nigeria. So, in fact, relatively speaking, as a country, we need to invest more in preparation. I'm not talking about the fact that the ministry has not done much for us. They have done their best, but we are talking about quality of preparation to meet up the modern standard of the game. And I also want to state something on this populist lamentation about the fact that we went with 12 and then the 12 were beaten. No, in all, there were 20 fights among Ghanaian boxers that went to the Olympics. We won 12 bouts, beating strong oppositions, and lost 8 of it with some novices. Though that's not an excuse anyway. Only qualification eluded us. It wasn't a disgrace. We've learned something useful from it to build on in subsequent qualifiers that await us next year in Italy and perhaps Thailand.
Very well said. I guess that the reason why our friends in the media are focusing heavily on the fact that no one got a spot was that Ghana has a certain pedigree on the international scene, whether we like it or not. And when it comes to the professional sport, the seniors in the game have done great. So when you mention Ghana, there's a very big expectation. So that is probably the reason why many of our friends in the media are using, that and are focusing more on that. That the expectation is, Charlie, once you've been there, it's just like playing in a final of a competition. Let's say the Africa Cup of Nations, 2010, where Ghana played against Egypt. Ghana played one of our best games you could ever remember in the recent era at the finals of the AFCON. We had a very youthful squad. Some of them were not really experienced. They hadn't been on a stage like that before. But guess what? Egypt won their title. They set another record. And who cares about who finished second? Nobody does. Nobody thinks about who played the better football. So I guess, and Jojo, you are in the media and you know how things go sometimes. I understand where you're coming from as well, because obviously you were on the ground and you know what some of the challenges were. We'll do a round of messages. When we return, we'll talk about the challenges. We'll pick it from the perspective of one of the boxers who's here, and then we'll look at it from your respective angles, where you all sat, because we do know of some health challenges that some of the boxers also had during the period, which the public should know about, so that they can better appreciate the situation. We're still here on the Joy Sports Link on Joy 99.7 FM. I'll be sharing some messages with you as we go along. And I do remember that this is a national platform and your voices very much matter in the scheme of things. And that's the reason why you have to send us your messages. Remember, it's 055 1111 997. 055 1111 997.
Oktoberfest is here again. Ghana's premier 5-star hotel and your CMG hospitality facility of the year. Labadi Beach Hotel brings you another exciting edition of the biggest beer festival in the world, Oktoberfest 2023. Performing live is the Bayern Boys Band from Germany. Catch all the fun with German traditional food and beer at the plush Labadi Beach Hotel on the 6th and 7th of October 2023. For enquiries and reservations, please call 0302-772-501 or 0249-532-866. Oktoberfest Beer Festival. Come, let's party!
Stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
We're still here on the Joy Sports Link on Joy 99.7 FM. Let me share one message with you here. There is this one that's coming from a regular listener. Now, he is doing some comparison here. So I'd like us to throw a bit of focus on it before we go along. It's from Charles Benoni Okain of the Graphic Communications Group and chairman of the Greater Accra GJA. Ghana Journalists Association. He says, the Black Stars in the last 43 years have taken a chunk of our money and given us nothing but pain in return. If we reason to invest even half of what we give the clueless stars in amateur boxing, the nation's flag will fly higher as we want it. I'll urge corporate Ghana to stop sponsoring the wasteful stars and invest in the so-called lesser-known games. They'll have better return on their investment. They are capable. All right, thank you very much, Charles. But Charles, I thought you were a little too harsh on the stars. You know, these conversations, especially for those on the ground, have different meanings and different dimensions. So, you know, we need to just look at them from context. I mean, yeah, it's not been all star, depending on which era you were born in. I know that those of the 40-plus generation or who recently turned 40 this year and last year may not have exactly seen Ghana lift an AFCON title, any of the 4 AFCON titles. But, I mean, it's not been pain all the way. I mean, let's let's take it easy a bit. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Let me say hello to one of my bosses at Graphic at the time, Mr. Benoni Okain.
Yes.
Yes, I think I agree with him to a larger extent.
Sure.
Because you look at it, the sport that are bring the many returns. You know, in the last decade, it's boxing that have won international laurel at the stage when Techi won Africa's only medal at the Olympics. So the fact is there, and it's not also equally true that boxing does not bring proper returns. Yes, he mentioned amateur boxing. Building the foundation there equally resonates at the professional level. So investment there, is of multiple benefit to the country. And boxing as a development tool is employment mostly to the people of the enclave, various social or various how do you call it slums, the nationwide. Look at the money Ikwate brought into the country. You went with him to the state for various bad that he had. Look at the amount of foreign money that he brought into the country. Look at the investment that he made. I mean, all that boxing has done equally meet the economic pillars of development, human development, foreign exchange earning, foreign investment. Yes, you cannot mention it. So football and then add this thing. If the debate comes there, we can equally debate it with facts and figures that boxing perhaps might have contributed more to the economy of Ghana than anything else. I grew up at Mamprobi. I know what Azumanesi have changed the enclave, of that Mamprobi area. What boxing has done to the Ghanaian economy. So investment over there, should also be taken critical, just like the corporate outfit do for football, especially amateur boxing. If they adopt various gyms, we will see the result that will turn out.
We keep having these conversations. Well, we've been talking about money and investment. Well, let's talk a bit about money, because the sound of this will make you, get close to some very good cash. It's that very much anticipated game. You want to know about it? I'll tell you about it. So that eagerly anticipated pick one game has arrived with a big bang. So you have to choose your favorite number from 1 to 36. It's that simple. Stick and just get ready for excitement as we unveil the lucky number. Prepare yourself to unleash more moolah by staking from 1 Ghana cedi to 350 Ghana cedis and win 26 times your stake on the amazing pick one game by Game Park. So play by dialing *946# on all networks and via our website, or download the Game Park app on www.gameparkgames.com. And you can watch our live draws on Adum TV. It's at 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. daily. Game Park, more moolah, more power. Remember, it's regulated by the National Lottery Authority. And if you are not 18 plus, please don't go close. Play responsibly. Charlie, we're in September. The month of October is approaching with great speed. So is Oktoberfest. So Oktoberfest is here again. And Ghana's premier 5-star hotel and your CIMG Hospitality Facility of the Year, Labadi Beach Hotel, presents yet another exciting edition of the biggest beer festival in the whole world. It's Oktoberfest 2023. And performing live will be the boys band from Germany. Catch all the fun with some German traditional food and beer at the plush Labadi Beach Hotel. It's on October 6th and October 7th, 2023. And just in case you want to make some more inquiries and make reservations as well, just call these numbers: 0302 772 501 or 0249 532 866. Also 0244 747 670. Oktoberfest Beer Festival. Come, let's party. Still here with my guest in the studio. Let me just read this one quickly before we get back to the conversations. Nat, good show as usual. Me, as I always say, we should stop taking part in all sporting activities in Ghana until we are ready to invest in the basics. When was the last time we even did a national sports festival in Ghana? Go to our brothers Nigeria, and they are even currently having their national youth games in the Delta State as I type. And what are we doing? What your boxing guys are saying in the studios, justifying such shambolic performances in Senegal, and you go with 12 boxers, and the furthest any went was the semis. Nigeria went with 8 boxers and got 3 qualifying for the Olympics. So we would sit here and all the medals at the Africa Games will be taken away from us by the Nigerians, South Africans, and Egypt. Egyptians, sorry. This is from Godwin in North Kanishing. Okay, Godwin, thank you for your message. Okay, so there it is. Let's get down to what happened on the ground, and then we can start looking at what needs to be done urgently within these 4 months, so we can get it right when we get to the next qualifier. Let me begin with you, Papu. Some of your teammates were not well. They were not well. They were not feeling too good. In the lead up to some of the fights.
Yeah, which is one of the female boxer, Onera. I think because of the food that we have been eating over there.
Yeah.
When you go to the restaurant, there are many flies over there. When you are eating, you can see them around. You can enjoy very well.
I see.
Yeah. Maybe I think that is the problem that Onela was not feeling well.
I see.
So.
Okay, tell us about these. And these issues about hosting tournaments and hosting them well, and this is something that cuts across all sporting disciplines. I mean, you hear about our clubs, Hartsville, Kotoko, Adriana, all these other clubs who have been playing in the CAF, competitions. They come back with all sorts of complaints. Coach, what did you see from your end as well, and what would you want to see improved? He says that the environment in which you guys were having your meals was not the best.
Well, it's part of it, but you sometimes we cannot use that because sometimes when you go, you have to control yourself. When you get your food, you have to make sure that you finish it in time and then you get it. But Onera, where she came from, she have a very regular kind of life before coming to Ghana, and then we went to Senegal. Senegal is very rough. It's not like USA. So what he said is a challenge for all of us. But some of them, they got injury because their opponents are all equally good. So sometimes most of them had a very tough fight, and it's not easy to recover them also for the next fight. We were working, we were trying our best to be able to. We were working and we were trying our best to be able to get some of them going. But recovering a boxer from a fight upon a fight is not an easy thing. Whereas some of them even having a slight sickness alongside. But the reason why I don't want to mention those things is that it's a challenge for all those who came to the competition. So I just rest that one. But I think things happen, and I still emphasize and hammer on it that if it could have been the previous qualification, we may have 4 of our boxers qualified. But now the qualification processes have changed, and our preparation also wasn't as we were expecting. And so we went there and we've learned our lesson and realized that next time we have to do more. But the boxers we sent there were also very good boxers as well. But the challenges of they themselves only fighting, they don't have any backing at the official. They don't have anybody at the ITUs. They don't have anybody to talk to them. Somebody may just say that Nigeria went there and qualified. Nigeria is the presidency of the interim president of Africa now. When there is a competition and the president wake up and stood in front of the judges, their decision can affect their decision. So they have Nigeria did well. But what we went to
Coach, before you continue,
Nigeria wasn't able to qualify any.
Okay, Coach, before you continue, I keep hearing these subtle whispers about officiating and how there was bias. Is that the case? Because you see, whether or not the bias is favoring us, we need to talk about it. It's not right, and it's cutting the integrity of the sport, is denting the image of the sport.
Yeah, it's a fact that that is why you see that there is always challenges. Boxing may not go to Olympics games because of officiating. So officiating is a question mark there, and that is the reason why most of the times people protest. And that why is it that they've taken the protest away? Because people will come and protest. And so as for the officiating official issue is there, and there is nothing we can do about it for now, unless we get our people also there. When our people are not there, we'll still be complaining.
All right,
Because
Mr. Kwati. Yeah, thank you very much, Coach.
Okay.
Mr. Kwati, I want you to, add a bit to this. Don't you think it's about time, you, the administrators, as your level, start advocating for these things so that we have proper channels for seeking redress, so that, we see some healthy competition, some,
Yes.
genuine competition.
Yes, Senior Nat, you are right. And if you recall, the problem between the international bodies, that is IOC and then IBA, the international, has to do with the officiating. The IOC is pointing finger at IBA, telling them that the officiating officials are not doing what is right. And for that matter, they see no reason why they should be working hand in hand. That has been the major challenge. That was the reason why the International Boxing Association has introduced what we call the protest system. But this particular one, there is no platform for that. And I can tell you, if you check the scorecard of Jonathan Tete, our heavyweight, it was clear. Where we have 29-27 against our opponent. 1 point was deducted. So what do you expect? You expect that at the end of the bout, the winner goes to Jonathan Tete. What we saw was that the winner rather goes in favor of our opponent. Where is the protest platform for us to make our case? Once they have announced, that is it. And they are the same people that are pointing finger at International Boxing Association that they are officiating is very bad.
Okay.
And you can look at Theophilus. The round 1, it was clear, 5-0. Round 2, it was slight in front of the person. Sometimes I even ask myself, the referees and judges that we are seeing them around the ring, have they tested what is boxing before? Or is it because the course is there and they feel like they are to join boxing, and for that matter, they have been given the platform to officiate? Do they know what it takes to know which point is correct and which point is not correct? These are issues that we have to look at. So at the top level, they have a serious issue. That is why we, the grass, those people down, are suffering. Are you getting it? So if you don't find your RNJs, that is referees and judges, to be part of their committee, this is where we are going to find it very difficult. And it is actually manifesting in this particular tournament that we used to attend. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So it is not easy at all. Very soon we'll be going to Congress and we are going to raise a serious issue about that. Because they are officiating in such a way that if Ghana doesn't find its people within the committee, it will be very difficult for us to say true. And that is what we are seeing.
Because what I'm saying is, you do not need to have your people in the committee to get things right. The rules are the rules. In boxing, technique is technique, and a legitimate punch, a scorable punch, is a scorable punch.
Yes.
Well,
so if you listen to me, see,
sure.
Who trained the officiating officials? It's still IBA. All the officiating officials who came to officiate there are still IBA products. You see, so if you are even accusing IBA of bad officiating, you still recruit their referees. You see, so and the mechanism that IBA is using to correct the issue, you don't use it.
Yes.
You see, so where are we heading towards? So it's a serious thing. That is the reason why we are saying that our people must also be there. So if our people are there, so what? Even if you say, even if our people are not there, it's not necessary because rules are rules. Yes, but why is it that we don't want our people to be there? We should also get our people there so that at least they can also understand more, so that they will also inform us that this is something that you don't know, that we've learned as officials. So take it and use it. You see, so being involved in the whole thing is very, very important. We shouldn't only rely on the bosses to go and win for us. We should get our officials also there. We should play a role in everything. We should also take the leadership as well. we should plan for all those things, because there is capacity building. Because we cannot just sit down and let people always take decisions for us in any aspect of the sport. We need to be part of everything, and that one, that it must be part of our strategy in developing sports. That we should get our people also inside the whole organization, so that because now we are coming for these African Games. How many officials do we have? Not only boxing, other sports as well. Which roles are we playing that are more effective, that can make decision? So making decisions in such sports fraternity is also very, very important. We shouldn't leave other things to them, and then we only rely on the athletes' performance, these athletes, because there are so many things that can be done to tarnish the athletes' performance as well. So decision making in all the cortex is very, very important.
Playing a role in decision making, very, very important, and it cuts across every sporting discipline. We expect some more of your messages. It's 055-11-11997. 055-11-11997. So on the scale of, or at the level of officiating, we do not have a very good story to tell. We've got some time ahead of us. What first of all is the plan? President, can you let us into what the plan is going forward? But before that, I think it's important that we make our listeners and our viewers also understand the politics between the International Olympic Committee and the International Boxing Association, which you were just referring to. So this is the scenario. As we speak, the boxing element of the Olympic Games, or the boxing competition within the Olympic Games, will not be run by the International Boxing Association, which is the globally mandated body for the regulation of amateur boxing. Ideally, what happens is that the International Olympic Committee, which sits at the top, has oversight or overhead responsibility over all the respective sporting disciplines and their global organizations. So these respective global organizations are responsible for organizing the qualifiers in tandem with Olympic standards for the Olympic Games. Now, in the case of amateur boxing, it just happened that there were issues around the financing on the sport, accountability within the global federation, and also issues of integrity, based on which the International Olympic Committee said, you know something, we will not have you handle the boxing competition at this Olympic Games and others. So as we speak, the International Olympic Committee, through its own means, is organizing the boxing qualifiers for the next Olympic Games. And the IBA organization is out of this bracket for this particular games. Now, this matter is being, challenged at the level of the Court of Arbitration for Sport and all of that. But as we speak, the decision has been upheld and the status quo remains. So the International Olympic Committee is finding its own way and its own method of organizing qualifiers and certified qualifiers for its own games. That is the background to this particular scenario. So, as I was saying, we're getting closer and closer to the end of the year. Very soon, March will be here with us and we'll have to go. What is the plan?
Yeah, you are right. Now that they are back from Senegal, in fact, the board has really sat to actually direct the technical team to start training coming next week or next 2 weeks, because the combat sport that we engage ourselves in, for a fact that it is not good to allow the athletes or the boxers years to go, because it is a sport that has to do with, it's a bloody game. So if boxers come out of tournament and you allow them to go, you find it difficult to get back the result that you wanted to. So we have directed that coming Monday, they should all report to camp, and then quickly we start our non-residential campaign. We are also going to let them know that they should not have it at the back of their mind that they are the same people we are going to parade, and that we are going to open up again because there are other boxers who are seriously training to actually take over from them. So if we say as management that we are going to allow the same people, then I can tell you we are not being fair to those who are also training to us actually take over from them. So what is going to happen is that we are going to have a series of competition for us to actually allow them to compete each other. After all, it is not about personal interest, it is about national interest. When individual championship is open and other clubs are invited for them to come with their boxers, we allow them to justify, so that if we think, or the technical handlers realize that we have potentials that are better off than those that we actually took to Senegal, we see no reason why we should not use them. So what is going to happen now is that first we have to let them start training. We don't allow them to go because we know what it takes. 2, we are going to invite all the clubs that there's going to be a championship. So if any of the club really have some potential that they think can come and compete those ones that we have, why not? We allow them to do that. Aside that, when the competition is over, we will allow the technical handlers to as well to make sure they do their selection by making sure they bring out the best. And when the best are actually bring to the table or for us for a discussion, then we'll take them to residential camping. But what I wanted everybody to know is that we have issues of camping. We always have a limited camping period. That is what always worry the national team.
Okay, so
limited period of camping.
So it means that what you're starting on Monday,
it's non-residential,
which is September 25.
Yes, it's non-residential.
Still non-residential. So it's plunging us into the same problem.
Very well. It's not because at the end, what we have agreed is that we don't want the boxers to have it at the back of their mind that automatically they are the same people. So what we are going to do is to open up what we call the individual championship. It is that platform for us to know whether they are better off than those people who are training, or we have potentials that can actually represent Ghana better than them. Are you getting it? So we don't want a situation where we allow them to go to their respective clubs. Yes, they find themselves in their respective club. For the national coach to be with them to actually correct where we fall short, we are saying that they should go back for the non-residential camp like they used to do before we departed from Ghana to Senegal. So for the meantime, they are going to be with the national coach. And then we invite the other clubs. They may have other potential that we think they will be better than the team that we have. And then we allow them to slug it out by opening the individual championship. So I can tell you on authority or for a fact, that is if we are able to get sponsors or some resources, so that December, because competition is starting somewhere on the 8th March in Italy. And apart from that, we are going to also have our African Championship. So it is very important for us to have a residential camping, non-residential. We should have a residential camping, enough time for us to be with the boys and actually teach them, brief them what we think are the new rules that we think when we use, or the strategy that when we use, we're able to overcome, the other opponent we are going to find them or see them at where qualifies 1 and where qualifies 2. So that is the plan we have as at now.
Now, so it is to say that the likes of Samuel Techi, Freezy McBones, who Seth Jima, who came in and went through to the games, will have to come and justify, right?
They need to, because they are other.
So this means that Kpakpo seated here will justify. Everybody is justifying.
Everybody is going to do that, because
very well,
we have a whole lot of them that whilst they are in Senegal, they are also training. And when you stop them, it means you are killing the dreams of other boxers. And in order to avoid killing the dreams of other bosses, it is important that they are giving the level playing field to compete each other. Because they also monitor exactly what goes on there.
Yeah.
And they believe that they can also do better than the team that we have currently.
Do we have situations where we give dispensations in a few scenarios, do we give dispensations to some boxers in some scenarios?
That one we have to leave it in the hands of the technical handlers because they are in total control of what happened. They will come and report, and we have to find out the reason why they are bringing those on.
And that brings me to Coach. Coach, would there be situations where we would have any, because I'm throwing back to some years ago when Ambassador Ray Kwaku was in charge. He had to take a very tough decision. I remember very well. There was a very tough decision, which was not taken very well, especially by the home-based boxers. This is the case of Isaac Dogbe, who's now a former boxing world champion. Isaac Dogbe lost the fight, and the president, used his veto to vote that Isaac Dogbe has to go to the Olympics. So long and short of it, Isaac Dogbe has justified that decision because he went through. But it created a lot of controversy, and we want to know if that will be made a part or a caveat within these rules that have been set by the federation, so that no boxer who loses out can go and stand out there and say, I was not given a fair chance. Others were given a better chance than I was. Coach.
Yeah, it's in technically there are so many things very deep that you cannot understand just by standing outside, and those things are very, very important. And also what the president just said, we need to give everybody the same or equal opportunity to be able to compete, so that those who are there may prove that they deserve to be there. If there's somebody hiding somewhere, we need to comb everywhere to bring them on board as well. We are having a big objective in front of us, that in terms of going to the African Games, and at the same time qualifying boxers to the Olympics Games. So, and like I said, even we must have equally 2 good boxers in camp or 3 good boxers, because there is injury as well. There are so many things that can happen. Some can get sick and there's nothing you can do. You have to replace the person. And also, training with the national team changes the boxers a lot, because as a matter of fact, some of the boxers will come into the national team and there are so many things they have to learn. They've been training as well, but most of the times it's not scientific. Some will ask a boxer to warm up, and then you realize that he's warming up, but that is not how to warm up. You have to help him to understand, or help him or her to understand proper way scientifically, so that whenever he's doing something, he knows why he's doing it. And also, technically, there are so many things. When you are going to amateur competitions, there are certain things you must know. It is not, amateur is not the same like professional. There are some punches that you'll be throwing when you are fighting as a professional, and there are some punches that you'll be throwing when you are fighting as an amateur. And sometimes, our boxers are mixed up with the professionals at the gym, and so they adopt some of the professional styles. And when they come to the amateur training, you have to work on all those things to make sure that they fight as an amateur. So we have to keep on working on them. You don't come into the national team just like that and come and do the same things that you've been doing. You come and then you learn the do's and the don'ts, and all these things will shape you up. And when you go to competition, there are things that is done here that is not done at the competitions. Even going through the weighing is not the same how we do it here. And even here, sometimes when somebody is over, they will not accept. They will say, it's only 10 grams, it's only 5 grams. But you can't take those things to the international level. So we teach them all these things. Sometimes when you say sparring contest and you give them weight, they will not be at that weight. Some of them will be at a different weight. And when you talk to them, they think you are being too strict. But that is not how it is. So when you come to the national team, we have to work on you to put you into that situation. If you are not able to discipline yourself to that level, to know how to control your weight, to know that if you are doing a competition or this is how you should be, then you are not ready for the national team if you can't go through all those things. So there are so many things that you need to work the boxers to be able to appreciate before they will be able to go forward and go outside there to win for us. Because when you take a boxer internationally and then you see you taking the boxer, putting the boxer in the sauna, running around all the place, because the boxer doesn't understand that he should control how to eat, he should control the kind of food he will eat, even teaching them the kind of food in terms of nutrition is very important, or their diet is very, very also important. And when they come into the national team, we talk about all those things and we train them through all those things. So just winning a fight is not all. Just winning a fight is not all. That's where the dispensations also come in. There are certain things that you need to understand, because when you don't take you take a boxer outside there, and it's better if you didn't take that boxer at all. So there are so many things we work on, and it's a difficult work, but still we need to make sure that we take the best to go and represent the country, and always that is how we should do it.
It's important to represent the country with the best. The words of head coach of the national teams, Ofori Asare, here on the Joy Sports link. Now, let me come to Theophilus Pakwalote. He is there. He will be in the ring and he will be justifying. Tell me how prepared you are mentally for this task. I mean, you are going to go into another battle to get yourself a place in the team and then eventually to the next qualifier. Tell me what you have put ahead of you. And
Okay, first, I'll come to what President said about the individual championship. Yeah, I think it's really good idea for us to fight the individual championship, because that too can also prepare us for the next qualify in Italy. Yeah.
I see. All right. So you are very ready for it.
Yeah, I'm very ready for it, because I think that can also prepare me to go to Italy. Yeah.
Tell me about you and your teammates. What do you guys need? I mean, when you get into camp, what are some of the things you need? I mean, you've met some of your colleagues from other countries and you've seen how their camps are organized at these tournaments, how everything else is done. What do you guys need so you can focus fully on training? You tell me, everybody's listening.
Okay, what we need is we have to be going for some training tours. Yeah, when we can go to like South Africa, Cuba, many of them. That is what we really need to motivate us, because we are always here. I mean, we are always in Ghana in camp. We are sparring with each other. We are not going outside to compete with other boxers over there. Even in my weight, the Zambia boxer and the Tunisia guy, even though they are fighting the same weight, but they always do sparring and other things. I've been seeing in social media. So we all need those kind of things, like going to training tours, we compete with other countries. That can motivate us very well too.
All right, interesting stuff there. So that is from the end of the boxers. They say they need training tours very, very urgently. Now, just before I come to you, Jojo, Coach, what else is needed? What else do we need? I want you to break things down. Training tours is one of them. What else do we need in camp to just make the boxers, settle and have that peace of mind to focus on only training?
Yeah, we need also to work on the nutritional aspect of it. We need to get our physios on board. We need to get psychologists also there to psych them. You see, sometimes when you go to competition, they lose the kind of unity that they need for the competition, because they feel like individuals, and when even supporting each other become very difficult. And sometimes you have to talk, you have to get them together before they realize that this is what they should do. Sometimes you go to competition and you'll be surprised that another boxer is praying that the one who has opportunity to win to lose, and it's a serious thing. And you go to the field and you ask them, come there with your in uniform to come and support, and somebody will just will not appear. So the discipline aspect also, we need to implement it. We shouldn't look at maybe some of them. Sometimes very difficult when you look at their results and they do something, you have to discipline them. I think the president has emphasized much on that thing when we came from Dakar, that now we are going to be very, very strict and very serious about the discipline aspect of the team. You need to, when you need to comport yourself, you need to discipline yourself, you need to subject yourself for the training regiment, because it's very, very, very important. It doesn't matter how you think you have achieved from the previous past, you will still go there and you will not be able to maintain your discipline, and you will lose. So we need that also. And so all those things that I've mentioned, our nutritional aspect, our physiotherapy, supporting our medical aspect, every aspect that is good for sports improvement, I think we need it. And when we have all on board, we'll be able to go there and perform.
Well, in the final leg of the show, the final 15 minutes of the show, let's activate the phone lines now so you can reach us and articulate your thoughts as well on this particular subject of getting the national boxing team's support so they can go and perform and get as many slots as possible for the Olympic Games. 0302 216 541. 0302 216 541 and also 055 997. Once again, 0302 216 541 and 055 997. And please, can you explain to some of us why our heroes in boxing, such as Azuma, Ikwate, and others, never get involved in the administration of boxing to motivate and support up-and-coming boxers? My regards to Ivan Bruce Kujo, the CEO of Travel Matters, who is also supporting the game in his own way. Prosper Dominion in Dakuman. Okay, Ivan Bruce Kujo is the owner of Hydroearth Event Center in Dansoman, which is a venue for boxing. He's also a boxing promoter as well. He's always been in charge, for many years, in charge of Patrick Alote, who won a WBO Africa welterweight title. Yes. Okay, so maybe I'll go around. I'll give that to one of us. But the little I know, I have seen over my years in covering boxing, is that we saw the likes of the legendary Peter Esando, appointed as a technical director of Ghana Boxing Authority. We've seen the legendary DK Poison, our very first boxing world champion, also appointed as technical director of Ghana Boxing Authority. Ikwate has told me personally that he wouldn't want to play any role at the level of professional boxing. He would only want to play a role at the level of amateur boxing. He's told me personally on more than one occasion. So that is it. Let me get on the phone line and get a conversation with our first caller, and then after that I can pick any thoughts that you have on this particular subject. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I am Nathaniel. Nathaniel, how are you doing?
I'm great, thanks for asking.
Yep. So Nathaniel, it's a sad spectacle that Ghana, a hub of boxing excellence, couldn't get an individual boxer to qualify. So those two officials in your studio, instead of giving excuses, should be ashamed of themselves, and they should go back to the drawing table and let's reconfigure why we didn't qualify. And let's put a few things in place. This is what I've observed, Nathaniel. Nathaniel, what is the body responsible for amateur boxing in Ghana?
The Ghana Boxing Federation.
Ghana Boxing Federation, right? Okay, so this is the case. We need to go back to the basics. How are we unearthing talent in the amateur field? Is it from the SHS? How are we doing it? Or individuals form clubs, like the coach was saying, and then they train their own boxers. So this is what the president of the association should figure out. How are we going to unearth talent? Are we going to the SHS field where we have coaches over there to train them like it's done in the United States? The United States unearth their sports talents from the colleges, right? From the colleges, and they are mature.
Very well, very well. Thank you.
So and then they train their coaches. So let's find out from the boss, how is he going to unearth boxing talent?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, President, I'll have you respond to this one. Let's get one more message from our callers. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, nice. Good afternoon. I hope you're doing well.
I'm great. Thanks for asking. What about you?
I'm also strong by the grace of God. This is Ajima Joseph from tonight, Sama.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I think this is a very important discussion because our boxing fraternity is going down. A lot of questions need to be asked. I mean, why is it that when we were not in the international, like when we were not in the era of international boxing, our boxers were doing very well. But now that boxing has been an international issue, we are not doing well. Boxing should be taught. When you talk about amateur, you are putting the person into the boxing. You are teaching the person what is boxing, how to box. Is that about discipline or indiscipline? Is that about we are not able to, get modern equipment to train our boxers? Boxing has been something that was helping our economy very well, has been taking Ghana somewhere. So I think authorities need to take it very serious. Start teaching them from the scratch.
All right, thank you very much, Ajuman Joseph. Let me come to you, President, so you give us a quick response because now time is not our best friend. President, please go ahead.
Coming to the first question, I can tell you that the number of clubs that we have, even in Greater Accra, I can tell you for a fact that we have about 40 clubs. And these 40 clubs and their respective coaches are the people that actually go out there. Like you mentioned, to the secondary school, JSS, even from the days of, when they find themselves at the primary school. Are you getting it? It is not easy to get them because people have come to realize that, yes, you wanted them to come and do boxing. What is at stake for them at the end of the day? So it's becoming very difficult to even get people to actually come and participate or come and even register at those respective clubs to be trained. Are you getting it? So the target has to do with, are they supposed to go to the slums areas where sometimes you go there, you see them having street fights. You go to Boko, for instance, you see them having street fight. It is there that the coaches themselves will say that it is very important, you are very good. So it is very important for you to come to get to the club so that we can add value to what you know. Because as we all said, we all know that when it comes to issues of boxing, we have the talent here. But how can we add value to the talent? Do you understand it? So I can tell him that Greater Accra alone, we have about 40. And going to the other regions, for instance, when you go to the northern part, I can tell you we have about 4 or 5. You go to Ashanti region, I can tell you we have about 2 clubs. It is very difficult to come by boxes. Do you understand it? So we are trying as much as possible to actually let the the sports develop, that is boxing, so that people will have the interest. Because if we don't develop the boxing from the basics, it makes it very difficult for the student at secondary school, primary school, JSS, and for them to come and join. That is where we have the challenge. So we wanted to build the basics for them to know that when you come and join us, this is what is at stake. That is the reason why we are doing what we are doing.
Coach, so a final word from you in just about 40 seconds, if you can.
I think the president missed something I wanted to add. It. President is working very hard, and a whole lot of coaches are doing star courses, which I know about it. They are developing a whole lot of coaches around. It's not going to be an easy thing, but he's working on those things. So we are preparing all the grounds, and with time, things will change. Like I said, first I apologize to all the boxing fraternity for what happened to us at the competition, but we have hope, and we know that we can change it and turn things around.
Coach Ofori Asari, head coach of the national boxing team, president of the Ghana Boxing Federation, Mr. Bernard Quarte, Theophilus Kpakpo Alote, member of the Black Bombers, the national team, and bronze medalist from the qualifiers recently from Senegal, and also the communications director, Charles Jojo Efson. Thank you so much for making another Joy Sports Link. So this afternoon, something very lovely is happening within the multimedia group. I call it the love brewed in the multimedia pot. Congratulations to you, Michael Nemo, and your sweetheart, Ohui. It will be nice this afternoon, eh? Happy birthday to XW01 Richard Kojoanan. It's your 80th birthday. Hey, Charlie. Highest paid DJ. Charlie, somebody chop 80 you. Highest paid DJ. Somebody chop 80 you. Eh? You have a long way to go, eh? And also the birthday week of Brother Ishmael N.O. Tete, the founder of the Ethereum Mission. Brother Ishmael N.O. Tete, founder of the Ethereum Mission. Big salutes to you on this biblical 70th. We love you here. Emerald Elikem Kunke, spotting a lovely